Good evening. So I want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you for joining us this beautiful Wednesday evening. It's 8:22 Eastern Standard Time. And of course, I'm Afonso Zain, so of the Republic Radio and LPR-TV. We want to welcome our viewers. This is the first time we say you are wholeheartedly welcome to this evening broadcast, whether you're in Liberia, you're right here in the USA. We intend to keep this line more activated here this evening so that you can have a voice in to the political dispensation ongoing in the West African state of the Republic of Liberia, the first branch of government. Let's take this break and I will be right back.
Do you want to share your events with the world? Why not contact us? We are Liberia Public Radio, LPR. We are the specialists in advertisements, commercials, radio and TV services. We have the professionals that can help you sell your products and provide live coverage of all events, such as weddings, conventions, graduations, reunions, anniversaries, sports, birthdays, baby showers, religious activities, funerals, and many more. Take your phone right now and call any of the following numbers. 682-433-8802, 267-648-6089, 484-786-3337, or 916-533-2048. Our customer service representatives are waiting to take your calls and give you the needed assistance. It is LPR, the home of excellent media services, and your friends in business.
Okay, let me see here. Okay, Mos, thank you so much. Let me check. Okay, I believe the microphone was open, so I believe that echo was coming. But Moses, thank you so much for, that's the beauty of this network here. We always like people to also put it in check and help us, because the reason you are here, you don't want to waste your time. You also want to make sure what we say here is clearly understood so that you can participate. But do me a favor, if you still having a sort of a echo coming back, and let me know. But I believe the microphone was open, so as the music play, it kind of like recycle, goes right back into it. I'm sure it should be okay by now. But again, thank you so much. My understanding from what I see here, this is the first time. Okay, you are wholeheartedly welcome. This is the official news outlet of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR-TV. Right here, I'm based in the New England state, the ocean state of New Orleans, headquarters, one of the headquarters in Philly and Sacramento, as well as Liberia, and our analysts across country in the USA, and our correspondents in the West African state of the Republic of Liberia. We say hopefully this network will be a home network to always tune. We are open to be critique. Your views and opinions are most welcome. Or we ask civility. In as much we put people into check, we ourselves must also be checked. It's proportional, it's vice versa. It's not a way. However, there's a tradition on this network. We don't usually say it your way as you want it to be spoken about. We try to make the news fair, balanced, and proportional. So sometimes you will not hear exactly what you purpose to hear based on your political affiliation, which is okay. But this network is it has a diverse background in terms of people, their interests, their political interests, or their supporter. Yeah, it's okay. But guess what? We also hold it accountable. We do not sanction voices. That's the beauty of this network. We say it. We maintain respect with our colleagues, our analysts. We disagree with them vehemently, but we argue on the issues of substance and not basically the entertainment aspect. However, don't get me wrong, media is also a greater component of entertainment, but we try to leave that to MC Carroll and the rest of the group in Liberia, because too much is ongoing in the West African state of the Republic of Liberia. Today is Wednesday. And Wednesday is All Things Considered. Welcome, Mr. Lee, Joe Lee, Jerry Fremont, George, and all of you, Los Saint Zili. Good evening, to welcome. We're going to be having a conversation here this evening. We'll keep this line open. These guys on the network, these analysts, some of whom are so much protective of their political alligators and nothing to see wrong, no matter how it is. The supporter, and sometimes it makes me to wonder who we are. Do we put in the interests of the country first, or we put the interests of our political leaders? How this political leader came about? How was this name coined, in fact, in the first place? Are we endeavor to build institutions that will be respected based on the rule of law, or everybody just becoming lawless because they want to satisfy their political godfather? Well, the analysts are gradually assembling to backstage. LPR, security analyst, and a strong diehard Washington. And so I added another B into his last name, Jerry Washington Baker. This guy, I try to get under his skin. He will sit down like nothing happened. And after everything, that's a good thing about it. Go to a house, his place not too far from me. We drink beer, we more cook fufu, we eat and everything. But when we come here, we cut off tie because of his bad political ideology. I don't want to mingle with that. Welcome to the show. I'm Alfonso Zienso. Let's get a ball rolling. Good evening, wherever you are. Into Radio Land. If you are here in the USA or Liberia, we say good morning. It's 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. SB, good evening to welcome. Let me bring in Jerry Boashand, a strong supporter of President Jose Newman Boykai. Is here, right here too, as well, in the ocean states of the world, and right within my proximity. But our friendship, we only have the 2 hours here. We don't, it's not much. Right after it, we are cool to do everything we want to read. So we are here this evening. Today's Wednesday, all things considered, right here on the Diaspora Informative News Magazine. As a political cloud hangs over the first branch of government in the Republic of Liberia, while President Jose Newman Boykai neglect constitutional obligations, leaving foreign soldiers on his soil. What is going on? What is the interpretation? Who want to provide our explanation? Alain, he going to see his alma mater? Is it the right time? Well, I am not one to put on this pedestal here, but we're going to have a conversation. Jared Bacon, Mr. Bacon is here, is a senior analyst of the Liberia Public Radio, expertise in security, retired pilot. We're going maybe why you can't even go to be the pilot for President Boykai? Hey, y'all get plane now? Y'all get an Air Force? At least I can be a where buying your own jet. You got a lot of money. Mr. Bacon, good evening. Come on, you.
Good evening, Zach.
The owner would trust you to be his, to be the guy, to be flying his executive jet. What's wrong with that? You can talk to. You have one of the resources, everything to your advantage. You cutting the deal, facilitating the impeachment of the speaker, creating political chaos in the first branch of government, foreign soldiers on your soil, and you go into meet Judah Matabiu. I would prefer you go into Guinea, where they send their commandos and all of that, and we're visiting your alma mater. What is going on? What is happening? What sort of advice? Are you one of the security advisors to this president? When they say foreign soldier in your country, you didn't go to the country to meet that person, but you go to a different country to seek what? To look for what? Welcome.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for being here. For our radio listener, TV listener, who say thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve you all the time. It's a privilege and honor. It is not a right. It's a privilege and honor to be here, to listen to us, our opinion. And, sometimes you don't agree with us, but at least you always participate in our deliberation. So I said, thank you for giving me the opportunity. A child from Biandoru to be in the United States to be on radio station. It's a blessing. Thank you also, Mr. CEO.
So, wait a minute, guys. Let me just point out something here quick. This guy, he thinks he's going to intimidate you, speaking from your esophagus to that will make me to stop talking what I want to talk or ask you the question you're supposed to talk, acting like some kind of. Please, Jerry Bacon, don't even go there with me.
Well, listen, thank you for giving me the opportunity. That's what I'm saying.
That's
Why
not a
you
normal.
why you always try to why you always try to
You speaking
okay,
now
go
from,
ahead, Chief.
is that an intimidation? Do you think you're gonna come on my program and you think you're gonna put a different face and think you're gonna scare me away? Not with me. When you and liberal there, you want to speak from your throat, you want to speak from your whatever you want to speak. That is okay. Not with me when I'm here. Welcome.
Thank
So let's
you.
let's get in your photo here. Too much is
Let
going.
me say this to you. Know me.
What you say?
You are a friend, you are a brother who have different ideologies. I'm gonna hate you or I'm not gonna like you. It's my former pilot. We have different way of flying the plane. Everybody have their own way, So even though we are certified under the federal law, but everybody you drive differently. I drive differently. So it doesn't mean that you myself, we are enemies. So we got different views. That's all.
So you're finna buying
Bother
DJ Blue. They say
and
about
it would
two.
never bother me.
They say about two bad for DJ Blue. Say
To what?
the Washington ball too. They have to take a double room with double bed, and they broke the wall. They put the two beds together so he was sleep because he was snoring last night. He was snoring. He was disturbing the other people. So man, Lord, like bro, man, what? Yeah, our country has all our control. Okay, Mr. Collins.
Yeah, Mr. Sue and Mr. Bacon. How you doing?
Wait a minute. You guys, I don't know, you're still growing or what?
Thank you, sir.
Everything just shining. Look at Terry. Look how he's showing his
Right.
new wash and all of that. Wow.
Mr.
Africa,
Sue,
you won't be part of the winning. You won't be part of the
I think we need to start. I think
But
we need to follow
let me ask
legal
you a question. Let
advice
me ask you a question. Let me
and
ask you a
form
question.
No.
our own
I am
political
questioning.
party.
Okay, go ahead. Hold on a second.
I am questioning you, not questioning me. I am asking you a question this evening. When you and your liberal come, when I
All
come,
right.
then you ask you where you are called. Today, you know one, you're not co-host, you just an analyst, and I am the one that I'm asking the questions. You either answer it, you don't answer it. The audience will determine why you're here and stuff like that. Okay, gentlemen, good evening. Welcome, Mr. Collins. Good evening. Look, guys, we have reached a very consequential time in the political history of our country. The cloud hangs over the first branch of government. We have no idea what it is. But quite interestingly, I chatted with one of the lawmakers late this evening, just around 6 o'clock, I think 5:30 to 6, and he wrote something. I want to read that. But let's go into both of you. Play ball. Let me start with you, Mr. Bacon. Today is Wednesday. All things considered, it's crazy. I think there are a lot of things under consideration. Well, let's screenline and see what is your priority. What are you watching, or what are you looking? What are you considering this evening?
Well, I said it from the beginning, and I'll say it, I'll still say it. The Speaker of the House will do the due process of law. However, I said it from the beginning, he will buy in time. That now is time. He will leave, no matter what it is. There are a lot of crossing carpet. And politics, you gotta twist hand. That's what politics is all about. You gotta twist that hand. You gotta make concession. You gotta make a deal for you to win what you want in politics. And it had reached to a point, they're making the deals. Let's see from today what? Wednesday or Thursday morning already in Liberia. Let's see by now Friday, by Monday, you hear different crow in the city or in Liberia. To like what's going on in Liberia? No. But that's what democracy is all about. People are entitled to their opinion. People are entitled. You see, there's no gun is fired. Nobody been arrested. We are doing it through the process of the law, right in front of. I wish I was still in school, or maybe when I go back in the classroom, I would be. It's an interesting history in our time in Liberia, and how the students feel, what they're thinking, because they are the future of the country, and they are watching us some of them listening to us, or some of them watching us, and see what is our opinion in this.
Okay.
Well, I don't want to use the word tactic or the type of we're testing our democracy in our country and see where it's going to go. It is interesting and very fascinating to see what's going on in our country.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Let me just hold you there and go to Terry.
So I don't make a position here and say, yeah, but Mr. So can I finish, please? You see?
No, that's just an intro.
It's intellectual.
Yeah,
I come in. I'm making my intro. I just said I have not picked up. I don't pick up position. Listen now.
No,
the same person here. Hey, don't assassinate me.
Carry on. No, I don't have time for that because you already started. You're calling for the due process.
All right, okay, I stop, sir. But you didn't tell me. You didn't tell me. Say you are entitled to 30 seconds. No, listen. Hey, sir. Check even the time. Say you're entitled to 30 seconds. You're entitled to 90 seconds, or you're entitled to 120 seconds. I'll go with your time.
It's discretionary. If I choose to give you the time.
So let me ask you now. What time frame do I speak? What time do I speak? I mean,
I told you.
So I can set my time.
No, don't worry. I will tell you. I told you I'm questioning you. Now you're going to be asking me a question. I am asking you a question. You are a guest on this program. I am the lead anchor. I am the host. My co-host is not here. I'm not even sure whether he's going to get his job or he's not here. So we want to come to you with the details, but let me go to Mr. Collins. Mr. Collins, man, yes, it seems we are gradually reaching the Waterloo of this whole thing here, but it's not done. There are a lot of uncertainty within the game of politics. Sometimes where you expect the coin to flip, it doesn't look like that. But from all indications, it doesn't look that good from the COFA side. But we're going to see what happens. It is not over until it is all over. I don't want to preempt. I don't want to be a soothsayer here to start making a prediction because I don't trust these people. They are all in it. Who know what that buffet ground holding they're doing? Some people take some poor money and eat it because it's free money. But let's look in your political photo from Minneapolis, Minnesota this evening. What are you picking on in Liberia?
Well, two things took my attention today when I listened to the finance minister in person of Augustine Pehe Gafwan and Clarence Jackson asking a very critical question today. Clarence Jackson asking, where will you be presenting the budget? I mean, not a budget. He said, but will you appear before the majority black if you are called? And that question was a tough question. I never expected Clarence to ask him that question, but he did. And he said he's not a lawyer, but the president have already communicated to them. All right. And the president have already communicated.
Yeah, please, I need a little bit tutoring. When you say to the Ministry of Information, is that what he was saying, or to who?
Ministry of Finance.
Oh, you said the president have already communicated with the Ministry of Finance.
Yeah, he said normally, according to law, the president is supposed to be the one to submit the budget to the legislature. But if the president, I think the president recommended them to submit the budget. So in other words, I really don't know, but he says, so it is the president's responsibility to submit the budget to the legislature, and the president did. So the question to him was, when you are called to appear before, plenary, will you go to the majority black? Will you appear before the majority black? He said, but the president, where the president has submitted the budget is where he will go.
Oh, boy.
So it just explained to you what is at stake here. You understand it? And I listened today, people are saying that there are the people who are deflecting from Fanatic Black, they're going to play the devil advocate, and I like to say the honor water, and they will go and, you know, pretend like they trying to something and to bring those guys to plan area and then blow everything up. Well, it sounds about right because anything can happen in Liberia. But looking at it from the face value of it, it's possible because, to be honest, you never know what may happen. But people like Koga there and the other guys, they're not going to give you money, especially looking at all of these things that go on around, people recording people get your voice here, they get your voice there, Tomo Fala and thing. With all the disgrace these guys have taken over the few months, you think that they're going to allow representatives then to come among them and they just take the first approach as reality and go take them and go allow them to go through? First of all, these guys are going to suspend, maybe they might probably suspend COFA removal until the whole budget business is discussed and passed before they even think about it. We're in that period of time, what will Honorable COFA be doing? That's the question we need to ask. Because they are holding, even if they say, okay, let us bring Honorable COFA here, but the people have already set up an entire budget committee that is going to, they suspended many people. They now establish their own budget committee to discuss the budget and all of that. You are being left behind. So then I listened to the Mensa woman. I know Mensa, or what her name is, on LPR.
Mensa Bridge, the representative.
Yeah, Mensa Bridge. Yeah, the representative. And she said, so when you say she too is faking it too, she said it. She said, look, the Honorable COFA man does not have a quorum. And it's very, very sad that we go to session every time the man had to adjourn. So for me, I don't want to go to the majority black and I'm not going to go to the minority black anymore because I feel within myself that, you know, the men do not have a quorum. So I'm looking at, for me, I'm looking at what is going to play out. I'm just looking at what is going to play out because right now, the way I look at it, if I were Honorable COFA, like I said previously, I would resign. People say he's defending the law. So the law, where were the law? Where were you when they put Gloria Musu-Scott, an innocent woman, in prison? Innocent woman. Gloria Musu-Scott. Now, I come in. Where were the law? Where were you? The law. You were a lawyer. He was a lawyer. He looked at the court convicting a woman on circumstantial evidence for murder. Where were you when they put that woman in jail? Where were you?
Are you also aware that circumstantial evidence that can hold you? You know, you remember the case of this guy from Florida, stand your ground lawyer. But
yeah,
what I mean here, Terry, when you say where were you, what you anticipated for Speaker COFA to have played in? Was he contacted by Councilor Scott to be the defense team or what? Why do you want to connect COFA with this?
He was in the House as a deputy speaker when one of his colleagues, a luminary from the law firm, a former justice, was being persecuted on grounds of murder or something that she previously alleged. She was accused and jury falsely looking at all the results. I'm trying to say, Mr. Soda,
you don't have it
just for the law.
I'll send it to you too. Okay, go ahead. Let me see. Sister say he doesn't have the link. Yeah, go ahead.
These people claim that they are fighting for the law. I'm trying to say these people are not fighting for the law, they're fighting for themselves. Where were they with all the kind of things that went on in our country that have been going on? Where were he as a lawyer? What did you stand up for? So it's only that you're fighting for the law because it's on you now. So everybody should fight for the law because it is you. So what were the other people like Kabina Jana then, like Alex Stalo then, like Gloria Musu-Scott then, like people who like the death of the auditors then? What did you say? What kind of law you fought for? What law you fight for that you're fighting for today? The auditors then that died, honored President Weah, what did you say? what you fought for. So I don't even like to hear people talking about, oh, you're fighting for the law. What a law? What law you fought for? So because you speak on now, the majority of your colleagues say they don't want you. So now you say you're fighting for the law. That now you realize the importance of the law. But meanwhile, when you were deputy speaker, there were colleagues in the country that you did not fight for. There were people who died in the country you did not fight for. There were people who went to prison that you knew that they're going to prison were wrong, you did not fight for. Your friend Kabina Jana, you were on the team to remove him. You did not fight for the law. But honor Joseph Boka because it is you. So we now, the country, should fight for the law to protect you. That's all I got to say. We should fight to protect you now because it's the law. Okay, we will fight to protect you so that tomorrow it can be registered that honor Joseph Yuma Boka, the law was upheld and Honorable Kofa went through the process of the law. That's all I got to say, Mr. Tu.
Wow, this is one of the biggest surprise you ever put up in there. Thank you for being on this here. This is unbelievable, Terry. My goodness. What you have today? Huh? I said, what you have today?
Because you know it's snowing in Minnesota right now. I think
I don't think that pepper soup because
I just had some hot crab, barbecue and other things from the shop. So forget it.
Okay, Mr. Goya, good evening. Welcome. You kind of get me frozen up here. This other argument here, you've been making point, but this other here, I don't see the coronation with Mususka, this and that. What you want, Jerry? Look, you guys here. But
no, Mr. So the man say he's fighting for the law.
Okay, yeah. Hold on. Jared, Mr. Bacon, do you want to respond to Terry because he's telling you something that breaking Goya? You listen to your guy here. I know you guys are friends, so it wouldn't be a surprise if you pivot in his column as well, because you started here due process and then you walk back to say he done, he gotta go. So then where is it? You guys are becoming dangerous on this network here, and we need to stop that. But let me prove yourself again to this evening. Let me hear you. Do you want to respond to Terry?
What I mean?
No, let me come to the man, Jared Washington. I saw Terry in a wrestle. I thought the former dinosaur Boko. I see why you come with it. Tabata here tonight. You wear a barrow uniform. Are you serious? Yeah.
Honorable Terry is making a connection. He's talking about the rule of law.
Oh my God.
That he's making a connection. Where were you when these people he was in the House of Representatives? He never fought. He never brought these people in on. Never brought a Minister of Justice that people were dying. He never said anything. Made justice. He never said anything. That now the watch is on your hand. That now you began the Pope. Anyway, he just wanted to see the Pope, so that's what happened. Now he became the Pope. So that's what I had to say. Thank you.
Yeah. Put that along with it. Okay, well, we don't sanction voices. Your opinions, your view, it is your opinion. Mr. Goya, good evening. Welcome. We're still not hearing you. Your mic is muted.
Mic is muted.
Can you hear me now?
Much better. Yeah.
All right. Sorry, I was dropping some ones and two with DJ Ziggy Zach, my man DJ Blue from RLJ. We're playing some live music at RLJ.
Oh, I wanted to ask. So we need to pull up.
We're operating on the show.
That all of y'all were all recording say?
Oh, but man, the pool party we get to RLJ tonight. We're jumping on shortwave radio station WRFM 23.1 with DJ Ziggy Zach, DJ Blue. like real problem is so crazy that you gotta just make fall in and laugh. But to add on to what Terry and Jerry was saying, while we're there in 1822, 1821, when they first set up a Butch landed on Providence Island and did nothing, while we're there, when Matela Nipo was shooting cannon from the Kenya and they were sitting there and they did nothing? Where were they when the Portuguese were naming our coast instead of all using our own name? Where were they when they called Basil Mackey, Long John Peter? Sorry. I think they're trying to drag it into a long distance. But for me, let me tell you the truth. I am done, so done with this craziness that's happening. I think the big boys outside of the room and the big girl. So I'm talking the president, current president Jose Nyimabwaka, the two former presidents, Dr. George Manawia and Ellen got a PhD too. Can one be respectful? Okay, Dr. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. I think they all need to decide to put their hands on the scale, to put a thumb on the scale, to move this thing one way or the other. So either they're going to coerce people to give the speaker a quorum and move forward, or coerce people to give the other side 49 votes and they go through process and move this thing forward. I think they still made with joke with it enough and they stopped being funny. Because we are talking about the first branch of government and we are talking about the position that's going to be second in line of the presidency. So, you know, I hate to be a doomsday sayer, but what were to happen if, God forbid, both the president and the vice president became incapacitated today? Because the speaker is in line.
Right.
So forget about the budget, went to this person and the Senate this side. For me, I don't think these people are very critically understood this issue about this is a position that is required for not just political stability, but for administrative stability. You are second in line of succession. So I don't know. I think, look, at this point, if they're going to bribe people, let's somebody that come out and bribe one side, one for all. Let happen. The speaker will get the quorum. Let it get his quorum. Will cause noise that I bring people. Will call enough for 3 days. After that time, there will go. Will move on. Yeah, just do the thing for. Let's move on. Let we have a person in that position, and let's move on because this is becoming very comical. And I think sooner or later, everybody in the sub-region, if they already not laughing at us, will be laughing at us. But for me, what really is on my plate is MCSS and the University of Liberia. MCSS has come back on my radar, and the University of Liberia, Dr. Conte, I think should not be confirmed to be ambassador to the United States. He's failed the University of Liberia. He was given 3 mandates, 3 things to do at the University of Liberia. And he decides to do a construction project and expecting schools to be open on the 18th. And you don't communicate with students till about a week before school opens that they will not be going back to school. You didn't know a month before that your project was behind time, and to sit there while he still IT president over 90 days at the University of Liberia to then be nominated to be ambassador. When he gets confirmed, will he come to America and stay the IT president of the University of Liberia? Or are they waiting for him to get confirmed before they can get a position of somebody else, just in case he doesn't get it? Then he keeps the University of Liberia position. This is sad.
So who's then? Let me just hold you there, Mr. Goya, and we're going to have a conversation because there's something. Because I listened to that confirmation process, and this guy Brown asked a very critical question today: where are you? What is the status of this the university now? That's the other version you are interpreting now. Now, so who judgment should we question? If your supervisor gave you a task, and I know sometimes these things happen, they give you a task, but this one was kind of very, very, very much consequential. We know how the university, what have been happening, all of that. And the president, in his wisdom, supposedly asked this guy to get this thing here. So why he couldn't wait for this guy task to be completed submit, review whether something was left undone, and say, hey, the job is incomplete. Like you try to go collect data and you need to bring 2, 3, and then you brought only 2. 1 is still outstanding. They can take you or take me or take Jerry to go do it. They don't know how you start the process. You should bring it to a full conclusion. So why the president in the first place brought this guy in the middle of this thing?
But Mr. To, I mean, Mr. So sorry. Here's the bigger problem. I don't have a problem with continuity. Like he can start and somebody else come and finish, right? I don't have a problem with that. But you have to leave a roadmap. You have to leave a blueprint. He is telling the Senate today that they did their own feasibility, but that the Ministry of Public Works did their own studies, feasibility studies, and that they were presented to the president upon his arrival, but that he has not seen it. So the Ministry of Public Works is doing a report that you are going to present to the president when the president gets to the country, but you as a PhD have not seen this. And today he got asked by DeLong, what percent of this money has been received? That was the whatever $30+ million for university research, over 85%. So you receive over 85% of the money, and you are now without a clear layout communication cadence. This is why sometimes soup and stew that they can do their thing. I don't think the way they protest is the right way, but these people give these people ammunition. If I'm sitting at home and I'm getting ready to go to school, Mr. So I'm starting on November 18th. Don't you think it makes sense for somebody who has run the university before, somebody who is an accomplished PhD, somebody who is an administrator, somebody who has been an ambassador in Nigeria, has a vast experience? Wouldn't he have known a month before that this project was going to be behind schedule to communicate this to the faculty senate and the students 1 month before? So that because there are some people who leave and go up into to go hustle for their school fees, and they leave other things to kind of maneuver to go to school.
Okay, let me pause.
It's crazy.
Hang in there. We're going to give you a fair conversation here. Let me go back to Mr. Bacon. I'm not sure what I got his talking point right, and if I'm sounding redundant, forgive me. This is a headache you guys give people, and so sometimes it makes our ears we get impaired forcibly, but we have to jumpstart it because I want us to have this conversation, everybody talking point. We'll kind of scramble over it and then give the audience the opportunity to participate. Mr. Bacon, did I get your talking point for tonight? Or are you going with your brother Terry?
Oh, we'll talk about the speakership. That's the talking point. But yes, my talking point, I want to say something could have been in Liberia today for the Liberian civil service worker. They suspended the retirement. Those who were supposed to be retired, the massive retirement, they suspended today, and until for further review. So at least they are putting it in process now. It's like what, 2 steps, 1 foot back. It should have been done before they made that pronouncement, but then we'll pass that stage now, and those are supposed to be retiring because I was reading the article. Mostly with emphasis on this teacher. Most of the classroom teacher were not going to be filled because of the retirement, so they thought otherwise to suspend time definite until they can come with a complete policy before anybody can be retired. So with the Social Security, to work out the mentality, I think that's the word they use, to work out the mentality with the Liberian Social Security system before they can do a retirement. So I think that's a good thing. At least there'll be not massive unemployment. People will be working until they can find out. And one of the things they're saying is that if you're going to retire 2027, by 2026, at least the Social Security should be able to write you that 1 year from now you will be retiring, so that a person will make that adjustment into their finances or in their lifestyle and say by 2027. Just an example, I'm saying. So that's what I said today. So I mean, I'm delighted. At least we'll make progress on that area.
Okay. So I think everybody, Terry brought his point where you guys want us to start. I want to be very nice and friendly with you guys here this evening because people, some of your people pressure, it will go over the roof, and then that's the end of it. And that's exactly you guys want, but that's not going to happen here. So, who do we start with? Social Security guy?
You're in control. So start where you want to start. You're in control. You already said that you are in control. We can't ask you what minute for us to talk on.
For me, Mr. So,
are you backtracking now?
We can move on with it because it's not important that much, because we already.
So what
the COFA thing, I was not really dwelling on the COFA thing. My position was ready about the finance minister and some of the things he said today. That was my concern. But I think Sisi got a very valid point today. I didn't really follow that thing in the House or in the Senate. But I've been hearing about the UL, that the UL is not going to have school this year. And also that Darius Dayton is saying that they gave them 100 million for the year. And if they're saying they receive 85% of that money, then why are not things that are supposed to be done are all into place right now? Why are the students struggling?
Yeah, but COFA thing is still a factor. That's a whole branch of government, all these sort of things here. But we can go to that here. But so then the question I even want to add relative to what Sisi was saying now, Dr. Conte is the overseer, and the institution, whatever renovation, whatever they're doing, even if another entity of government or agency is brought in, I believe there must be some sort of note sharing. He's like coming to fix your own house. And then, you get GAPO money, you not even follow through what they're facing, what not facing, you don't know what is what. Now, that is concerning. For you to just submit a report that you have not seen. So how the monies were disbursed? Was there no any meeting with the UL authority, that of the Ministry of Public Works and other agency or other contractors, people that were brought in, because they are all part of the Ministry of Public Works, also part of the government. They can bring them in, nothing wrong to provide their expertise to do it. But were they not coordinating? That he just waiting when the president comes, what come from the Ministry of Public Works with how he's seeing it and just submit it to the president? That's a high risk, Sisi. Who does that? How can you I work with you? I mean, we are coordinating. If there's something ongoing and we didn't share no content, I don't know what you have. You don't know what I have. But in the meanwhile, you are telling me that the guy that asked us to do the work, we all just submitting separate reports without even to revision, without me knowing what you're doing. You either don't even know what I'm doing. What's the working relation? How do we determine that these monies will be properly apportioned to places it's supposed to go?
But Mr. So the first problem is, and Terry pointed to a point, I think they give them an extra $1 million. Here is the problem. This is a doctor. They are doing facelift, according to him, across all their 4 campuses. So that means they started a project. That means they got contracts and contractors. That means they did. That means, Saro, Minnesota is bad here today, so my internet is going in and out. Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
the weather is bad.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, weather is bad. So that means that they did an analysis upon which that they had a financial understanding to have contractors to do the work they're doing. He got asked today, when will the university reopen? He doesn't know. The faculty sent it with me next week, and they'll have a discussion. So what was the timeline given to you that you agreed to with these contractors? Because when you sign these things, they tell you, by this time, here are our checkpoints. At this point, we'll be here, we'll be here, we'll be here, we'll be here. So as the president of the
contract punishing you the evening.
So I know. I think that Jerry Barton fell me. Now why you keep interfering on my internet?
Your own man never doing it.
I think as the University of Liberia has a lot of expertise, so they don't even know when they will be done with their project for the university students to start planning when they will go back. That's number one. Number two, one of the key reasons he was put in charge of the interim administration was to lead a search committee to appoint a president. He hasn't done that. They have not appointed a president. And now they're taking elevating the saying to the United States of Liberia to become ambassador. When in fact, while he was in Nigeria, there was a rape that happened on the Liberian property, on the Liberian embassy property, that is still here hanging over.
Yes. So
let me finish talking quick so Jerry go ahead and make it happen on the internet. Let me finish talking quick. But he was in Nigeria. He was in Nigeria where a rape allegation, where a Liberian kid was raped on the property of the Republic of Liberia. He's coming to the United States where there were already allegations of sexual harassment, right? The first thing you fail at the university. Now you fail as an ambassador when somebody was raped while you were ambassador, and you're coming to take over another place that already has rape allegations. Why should Liberians allow Hassan Conte to come and be ambassador? Are there no other people in the Republic of Liberia that are qualified to do that work, that don't have that level of incompetence hanging over them?
Okay, so then let me just get myself into this here. Let me just bring Jerry back on here. Jerry, who appointed this guy?
Excellency, which one? The ambassador or the president? The ambassador? Which one?
Dr. Conte. I said, who appointed him?
Which position?
Ambassador to the U.S., for which he went for confirmation today.
Oh, well, I mean, there are two positions here occupied. He was ambassador on we had administration. No, what I mean, he asked me, he said, who appointed him? So he had previous positions. So
okay, all of the positions who appointed, but I'm being specific here. Who appointed him to the position for which he went for confirmation today?
That's why you should make it clear, make it, make sure. But I'll come to your question. But this is what's going on. I would say on the network here. I would stay say, what is going on in our country? There is no accountability, and there is no transparency. What are happening in our country all the time is organized crime and white collar crime. People do these things, they take people money, and they are not delivered. How can you, as the president of a university, you got 4 campuses, you can relocate 3 campuses and say, look, 3 campuses all go classes on the side until we can renovate the other side. Right. You can do the rotation. You don't have to be a scientist. You have an engineering student who is on that campus. You got an engineering. You got everybody on that campus. You got finance. You got engineer, everybody. So all you got to do, say, you know what? We are using University of Liberia or the main campus, Fender. We're not going to use a Fender campus for this semester. For this semester, we'll go back downtown. The other 3 campuses, we use it for Tampin because we are renovating the main campus. You can do the rotation. It's not take. You don't have to go in space to do it. In fact, you can use the resources that we have at the University of Liberia. We have engineering studio. They can do that thing. You can do it as a class project. Simple. Okay. The second thing here is, coming, sir. We're talking about coming. I will answer your question. I just want to lay the what my brother just said.
You can put down
hold on. Sir, can I finish?
No, I said when you put down the water bear, I will lay down internet. I care what you do, you will answer that question. Go all kind down. So be laying down, be foundation, and let it pose in over
no. They give you what? $100 million, and you are used almost 90%. You are used $80 million, and students can't go to school. How ridiculous can it be? Ali, if you say you are new 20 million, then you say, yeah, but you are new.
And taking him to making ambassador.
I come in, my dear father, dear brother. I'm just telling you that how then I'm coming. The same individual. Let's be realistic here. The same individual. There's an allegation that when he was ambassador in Nigeria, there's a crime was committed. You're going to send him to the West as an ambassador. Who the question? Who appointed him? Yes, it's Excellency Joseph Newman Buchanan appointed him as an ambassador, nominee to to the United States.
What does that tell us in terms of judgment and common sense?
In regard to what?
In your own words, sexual harassment, all of that, we don't know the conclusion of all of those. He was given all these monies, his task. We all listen to the conversation, inconclusive. And on top, now he's been appointed to come to the United Nations. What sort of judgment is that?
Well, listen, I am not going to question the judgment of the President of the Republic of Liberia, but the question there is, let's be transparent. There's an allegation on the individual who, on his watch, he did not commit a crime or he did not do it, but it was on his watch, on his leadership, it happened, and we should have found the solution before sending him to the United Nations, or even to be appointed.
Is a solution being found by appointing to be ambassador?
Hold on. Can I learn, please? Can I learn? Even to be appointed as an acting director for the University of Liberia, and I know there are students who demonstrated, and this I think we need to really talk about, because the same people, the same children, going to be on here administration, students, young adults who are just starting life, leaving a parent house to go to school, 18 years old, 17 years, if possible, to go to school, and you're going to preside over there. No.
So, okay, I won't go to Terry. You're not answering my question. Country and individual, do you think the president's judgment, administrative judgment, if you were to put country and individual first, which way will you go? I'm talking to you.
Oh, me?
Yes.
Are you still referring to me?
Yes.
The country comes first. The country is always first. The individual will go, but the country will still remain. The country will stay as it. We all will go tomorrow.
So in this case here, where is the president priorities?
In regards to appointing him as
If all of these things are hanging and we don't know something, so I know it would be a very difficult thing. You don't want to condemn it. You don't want to. You try to sugarcoat it. You try to dance around.
I'm not sugarcoating it. I'm telling you. You see, you asked me a question. I answer it the way I feel answering it. You cannot answer. This is where I expect you to do it. If that is the case, then you should not ask me then. But I'm telling you, this is what it is. The president appoints the man as an ambassador or nominee, and he went before the Senate. But here's the thing I wanted to say. All these things, even the president have appointed this gentleman to be the ambassador. It left with the Senate. With all the questions that you're asking, it comes to the feet of the Senate. They had a right to reject him or to confirm him. The president, he can nominate you, but the Senate can reject you. So the Senate, they are also responsible for all these things, because if the president appoints you, and these are all the allegations on his administration, they're still going to confirm it. So then we'll have issues.
So if you were in the Senate, or should the Senate confirm Dr. Conte to come to America as ambassador, considering all of these unclear situations, unclear happenings, circumstances, we don't know what is what in the midst of that. If you were in that Senate voting, or will you call the Senate to confirm this gentleman?
What I would do, it will be here in session, will be here in committee first, before we can come before the committee. You're not just going to bring on the Senate floor, which do a committee.
Where will your vote go?
But based upon the committee report, and then I will say before I vote, but at this time, I cannot vote because it will be here in the committee. So the first thing is you, and anybody who is appointed, being nominated, I mean,
okay,
they go into the committee hearing before you come on the full floor.
Jerry is not answering my questions, and merely political reason, because that his ally, which is obvious, and I expected that, but I didn't want to get a pick. But listen, you know, we can be selective in getting these things done. To get society fixed, there are certain high core decisions administrators, leaders, people should be making. I know all of these questions we're asking there. I'm not sure. Most likely you will be confirmed. Go off conduct. Most likely he will be. But Terry, what does that tell us, the kind of society that we have? If we, when we have this sort of stuff, well, allegation does not necessarily mean the person did it, but he must be vindicated, given the opportunity. Let's know exactly, because it's good for us, it's good for our country. He's going to be the direct representation, not just only the president, but the torchbearer of the Republic of Liberia. And you see all of these things hanging out from the Nigeria side and brinking on this side, and these people, the why they see things happen, we don't know what's going to be the outcome, the repercussion of it if he is to be confronted. So, was it really false that Sister said, was he the only person, competent, qualified person that the president, why would the president even make that decision in the first place?
Yeah,
Because
these are some of this.
Because people are going to talk about it, no matter what, people are going to talk about it and see what he says out there today.
Yeah, these are some of the appointments that the president is making that actually makes us to regret his decision. But I think it brings up back to the same thing I was talking first about, the rule of law that people claiming that they're trying to protect. When this man we're talking about here will honor President Weah, that rape thing that happened in Nigeria, it was during President Weah time. They never took action against this man. That is why this man keep permeating. Even the Foreign Affairs Minister under President Weah had rape allegations. He was not dealt with. It was never dealt with. This is why people keep saying we're fighting for the rule of law, and you wonder what kind of law they're fighting for. Because when the time is on the hand, that is the only time they want to protect the rule of law. But when the time was on your friend's hand, you did not have time for the rule of law. So my thing here is that these are some of the things I label Liberia now to be a country of neglected vision. I think people neglect the vision for which they were elected on the basis of self-aggrandizement. Because if I were the President Boka, looking at this man character, even though somebody want to recommend him, and it could be for political reasons, on the basis of political interest, because that is how Liberia is ran. Liberia is ran on political interest. People come and they are recommended to power or positions because of political interest and because of friendship and who know you and all that kind of crap. So like what Mr. Bacon said, it is binding. It is binding. It is binding. It is binding. Yeah, you see, one of the things, you can't be forcing this government to do what you should have done. That's the thing I don't like. You forcing JMB government to take care of your responsibility.
So no, Terry. So we all agree, say government is continuity. Whatever bypass George Weah style, if something was done to wrongfully, we can't say there was a murder committed, and even if George Weah administration, for whatever reason, never prosecuted that case, and that case remained like a cold case, are we saying because it wasn't to end up, we should continue with it? So is the government aware of all of these things? Do you think, or they don't?
The government. That's why I'm telling you now that there are some positions that the government is taking, and one of those is this guy. I was here the other day telling you about Louis Brown. These are not decisions that favor me. If you ask me personally, I would tell you that JMB not supposed to recommend these people for the position in view, because these positions are sensitive positions that you cannot be carrying people there with this kind of tinted record. And like what I say online here, this man have failed in every area he have resided over in the last 10 years. So he have not had a good report. People look at work ethics. That's why people do background check in America and in good country. So why recommend this kind of man for this kind of key position, knowing very well he has stigma and he have allegations hanging over him that have not been properly dealt with? So I don't think it is necessary, but like I said, it might have been a political decision. You know, who know you, friend, or who supported me during my election and I won, undercover people but supporting me and all the kind of thing. But
yeah, Minnesota group today, your aura.
Okay, let me go to Mr. Goya. Mr. Goya, No.
Yeah, can I just wrap up, Mr. So, before?
Okay.
Can I just wrap up? Oh,
Mr.
Mr. Goyo gone.
All the Minnesota people were on here tonight. Yeah, go ahead.
Our internet, yeah, because but so, Mr. So, you got that unit. So you want to tell me that our only university Liberia will have? So if something goes wrong in the country with the university, like what happening now, talking about renovation. So the student, nobody will go to school until you're finished facing the university. Send 170 something year that the only school campus you'll get in the whole country. So
I don't
people
know what was their thinking to play the bill that university said. I don't know what.
That's what I'm saying.
Relocated.
Look at the rules. You know that these people never have vision for Liberia. You barely roll. You don't think about posterity. You only thought about you and your family were supposed to be the only people that will get car. Now, people in America sending their families car now, the rules cannot contain them. The rules are too small. So just in a small distance road, people will take 2 hours, 3 hours in the traffic because of the amount of cars. So it tells you that, look at the schools. You got only one university campus in the entire country. You're not even thinking about building. You're not even thinking about building other universities for your students to go to and other things. Look at the, like I was talking about the army. Look at it. Look at the security apparatus. All right. You just came from war. For the past 21 years, you never had no contingency plan to put into perspective, to start planning to start recruiting people to go to be trained in the military, to send them abroad, to send them Israel and other countries to learn military science, to come back to the country. You still depending on the old minds. You have not even progressed to the young generation, all right, to explore on the young generation in the country, the youthful. So as a result, every morning you wake up, somebody will be protesting. Then you wonder why these things are happening. So few years from now, if the country governing system break down, who you going to blame? Who you going to blame for that? It's because we have a poor mindset. Our country, with our leaders, do not have vision. They talk about vision, they pronounce vision, but they get to power, they neglect the vision for which they claim they came to use to defend the people. Look at Gafan today sitting down on the radio discussing about a budget of $800 million, that 70% of that budget is going towards salary payment, gas slips, and other things. Only 12% or so is going to be used to benefit the Liberian people. Tell me now, within the next 6 years, how do you expect to lift up your vision from that level? How do you expect to make impact? So just from his projection today, I could tell that Liberia is not going to accomplish anything in the next 6 years. You know, so it's all sectors, Mr. So it's not just only that decision of that man, it's just every sector in the country is messed up.
Who is responsible in this one? Not in the past, but we're talking about how to get systems.
Mr. So,
who leader are you referring to? Who is the leader?
The president. The president is the one who convinced the people to give him power. He claimed that President, he have.
You know,
President.
Oh, okay.
Not President Weah. We're not President Weah. I can talk about him when I read it, but President Boka is to be held responsible for the neglect of vision. Because for you to start putting the kind of people recommending, whosoever recommend the kind of people, recycle politicians, you start putting them back into the same place, then it means that you are not prepared to implement the vision for which you told the Liberian people they should bring you to power for. Because you told us that you will hire reputable people that are going to do the Liberian job. You can't be hiring a man who was accused, who neglected one of your citizens that were raped. That girl was gang raped. She was, as I learned, I think she was gang raped in the house of one of those guys from Nigeria, a rich man in Nigeria. All right. And the news came to him. He never handled the situation properly. The university students protested and you remove the man from in a university, then you come by and recommend the same man again to the United States? Mr. So I don't understand that. I cannot defend the president on that one. He have to take the fall for this. That's my view.
Jared, do you agree with me?
Well, the FDR said the bus start with him. The bus start with the president. He's in charge. That's his responsibility. He's in charge. I mean, there's nothing there to sugarcoat it and say this is the president. That's his administration. Whatever go on is on his watch, and he have to do the best he can. But yes,
hold on. So yes. Is that yes to my question?
I just told you. I said the president is in charge. The boss stuck with the president. He is a steward of the country. He nominated the president. He knows the man past history. It's a responsibility of the president. Why else do you want me to say? The bus start with the president.
Sometimes the bus stop we can pass through. So, as Mr. Goya.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, go ahead. Then you finish.
You want to say something before I go to him? I want to bring in. Now,
yeah, so now, I mean, we're talking about.
Okay, let's be honest here. I heard Teresa, you kind of agree with Teresa, but I know it's a very difficult thing for men to say yes to a mate to run. You politicians, you don't usually do that. You will always find all the excuses, make all of the connection. Considering all that we know so far, we are not about to kind of like judging and thing, but based on the information that we know so far, because they are not come forward to explain everything. Sissy, should this guy be confirmed? I know you said that. Should this guy be confirmed? And if not, if he confirms, what does that suggest and tell us as a people, as a nation?
Well, when he was first sent to the University of Liberia, I'm on record for saying that their decision was not right. It was not appropriate. The man was at the University of Liberia. He failed as a president of the University of Liberia. How can you send somebody who failed to go back and redeem an institution that he failed at when he was leaving to redeem it in the interim role? Right? I didn't think that made any sense whatsoever. Now, to elevate this guy from Nigeria, he was in Nigeria, and I'm not trying to disrespect Nigeria by any means, but comparing Nigeria to the United States, ambassador to the United States plenipotentiary, it's a bigger job. It's a bigger position. You are in Nigeria on government soil, on the Republic of Liberia soil, embassy. There is a writ of a minor, and it doesn't get handled effectively. So that tells me that he lacks the judgment to handle such critical situation. Now you're bringing him to the embassy of the Republic of Liberia, where the last ambassador already has some problems. Where, by the way, the last chief of mission or a permanent representative had a rape allegation before their own thing. So those cases are still lingering.
My boy, this internet tonight is killing us.
I think today that's short answer because the people want me to talk plenty. So my answer is no. I don't think that he should even be a superintendent in Liberia. He should not even be superintendent or OG. So he should have nowhere close to administrative leadership.
Okay, Terry?
You're sending the man Lofa. The man will be superintendent for Lofa.
Or where?
Yeah, Uncle Fala with all I want there.
So, Terry, Mr. Collins, you in agreement with what my sister said?
Yes, Mr. So I think 100%. You cannot keep doing the same thing. Let me borrow Mr. Cummings' famous quote. You cannot keep doing the same thing and get the same result. And this is where I will stand down on JMB. You know me, I'm like wet chicken. I quit to join the way up. So don't depend on me. but yeah, the JMB, and that is why I say neglect of vision. JMB, 40 years experience, cannot tell me that he don't know what is right. He knows exactly what to do is right, and he knows exactly what to do is wrong. You cannot keep doing.
Are you saying his action being influenced by others or what?
Yes, of course. Huh?
I mean, not all, but in most cases, are you saying his action has been influenced by other forces surrounding him or in the bad will?
Mr. Sue, my greatest fear,
Let me
and I wrote on my greatest fear, and I wrote it on my timeline, is that, you know, someday when you talk something, I can agree with you. Someday you and I can make it, but someday, like one or 2 days, one of these days. Or I said that I'm not afraid of the one who gets power, but I'm afraid of the one who influences the one who gets power. So you know, I'm worried more about the person who whispers in the president's ear. That is why the president immediate circle should be reputable people, people that stand up for what is right, to be able to help the president effect his vision. Because if the president have the wrong circle, they will only teach him how to do bad things and implement bad political policies. All right. And those political policies may be a temporary, you know, amazement or amusement for a while, but at the end it's going to bite him. All right. And that is one of the reasons why I think President Weah failed. President Weah in himself is not a bad person, but President Weah immediate circle, the people that were whispering to him, the people that were telling him, hey, President Weah, this is what you need to do. Those were the people who was the reason why President Weah failed. And I see President Burger going right down the same slope by recycling politicians. I thought he was going to change the face of his government. I thought he was going to present to the Liberian people, young people, you know, posterity that will set the pace, because you say he won one term, but you go back for the same old recycling politicians that have failed in past time to recycle them. Then what is the newness you bring into to your, because you need, in order to implement a vision that have never been implemented, you need new people that will help you implement it. But if you bring the old people, the only idea they have is the old idea. That is what they're going to insert into what you're trying to implement. And on the basis of that, you will never get anywhere. Like today, I listened to, today I listened to Honorable Gafuan, and he talked about that they got asked and said, what is your agenda? The president have not written any policy, any agenda, national agenda. And they talk about they still working on the national agenda for the president, you know, like the way the Popo agenda was like. So I'm like, so you came to power without having a national agenda written down already. From my perspective, I'm a man, I believe in vision from a religious cycle.
Let me stop you. Now you're not waking me up. This is the same thing we, the media, if not all, fail to do. Because if I want something, if you want something, and it is difficult, I'm not sure whether we'll ever reach to that point in Liberia. And if we can, then it is saddening, because all of these people here got their education and do stuff. And when people voting here, is merited. You got to tell them what you want to do. It is based on that. It is based on that agenda. It is based on that you will be able to tell them exactly and how can they vote for you. But that's not the case. That's not the case.
Yeah, Mr. So that's that, because in my opinion, right, from my religious school of thought, we believe that you must have a vision even before you start a ministry or a church. You must have a vision. God must give you a vision, and that vision must be written down. So, okay, if you say you have the arrest agenda, you must have a vision that you can carve to present to the Liberian people already, even before the people decide to vote for you. Let it be in your hand. And you know, Madam Shirley came to power. It took her 1 year before she wrote down her, you know, poverty reduction strategy. President Weah 2 level. But one of the problems we struggle in the country is our leaders don't come to the discourse with holding the paper in the hand. If that 100 pages, 500 pages, 1,000 pages document to tell the Liberian people how you intend to emancipate them from poverty, from you know, from all these things, how you expect to take them from where they are to where you envision for them to go. And I think when he said that, you know, that he's still working on it, I thought that that was something that really...
Let me bring Jerry to respond. I'm getting some messages yet, and let's see. There's no way we can ignore this. I don't know what sort of miracle that's about to take place. But let me have Jerry to respond to some of these things that you told me. Jerry, anything on the contrary from your end? Mr.
No, I mean, no. Yes, one thing coming a bubbling now, it's not surface yet. There's an allegation leveled against the Minister of Internal Affairs about allegedly the lady had already fled the country. And so, folks, this I think we're supposed to pull immediately when this thing then suffer for us to pull. That's where the responsibility or the security or the law enforcement come in. We have to take the country very serious. This country is not a plantation. It's a country of rule of law. We got a constitution that governs us. We got people who are in charge who are supposed to take the responsibility to make sure when the president appoints you, this thing is not the president. Don't have to hold your hands and execute this thing. We have to be responsible. The president appoints you. If he can't do the job, just tell him, Mr. President, you know what? I can't do the job. And don't be a sycophant. Be honest with the president, Mr. President. Just said, you are the chief law enforcement officer. You are the minister of justice. What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of?
Suppose they can't tell the president, what should the president do?
Say that again.
If they appoint these people to the job, to this position, and they can't do it, their direct supervisor is the president. And if the president comes to realize this person, he or she is not doing their work, he's supposed to send you a quarterly report or annual report or whatever report it is to your boss, and you did not doing it, then what should the leader, what's the president should do?
I would say there's something they call the exit door. Take the exit door. Okay?
Can you break it down for us, please? Can you break it? Can you simplify that for us?
Yes, I do. We'll fire you. That's all. I tell you, look, listen. Yeah, one other thing. Yeah, look, this allegation about the Minister of Internal Affairs. The Minister of Internal Affairs supervises 15 counties, and each of the county can maybe have a million, maybe 1 million people. These are the people who honor his supervision, and there's an allegation leveled against him on one of the heinous crimes in our country. In fact, not in the country, around the world, raped. It's something to take very serious, and he is supervising the individuals. And yes, the things so the Minister of Justice have to make a decision. And we cannot just keep doing the one thing over and over. There is no consequence in our country, no penalty. People go unpunished. Okay, look what's going on right now. There was an allegation. We'll go back to the speaker. People were bribing people. Picture was taken. There's no investigation. The Minister of Justice, there's no action taken. That's a crime committed. Okay, so we got a lot of things that will sweep under the rug or will keep sweeping under the rug, and it's about time we will take serious action. Folks, this is not a plantation. We have country to run. If the president appoints you, you can't do the job, get other people the opportunity. This is sickling in our country. It is unbelievable. It's spoiling the reputation of our country. Here we are. Here we are. Hear me and hear me loud. Here is the intestine ambassador to be credited to the United States of America. This is a skeleton, a rap sheet. American book can say rap sheet hanging over him. He's going to come to the United States. Let's see what the United States will accept him. Maybe. Let's see. Maybe they will accept it.
Right.
That's another thing. Depending where it is, you don't even know what are the people going to file charges. They come here, they're going to go after him, and then
if America going to agree for such a thing, for such an individual to come to the United Nations, United States, so these are things. Let's see. who's getting no qualified individual in Liberia?
I'm not going to sound a little bit ridiculous yet. Saying, now with all of these things here, if this sort of thing continue to exist and continue to go on and go on, does that mean that this government is giving leg to, because George Weah said he want to contest, and don't mind, people can learn, people can change. I think there's still a room of time, only if he's willing to reform, start going to other places, learn leadership style, try to do different things and rebrand himself. It is possible, nothing is impossible. Will that give me a political argument? Because this is something people wanted, some sort of transformation. In as much the vote imagine was not that wide in here, but is it empowering? If Unity Party, ruling party, continue to go down this road here, who going to benefit at the end of the day? We don't know who are going to be contesting, whether Gongo going to be coming by, whether Kumi is going to be coming by. But for sure, one thing we do know, Josh Weah they want to bring him back. The question now is, how can he rebrand himself? How can he remake himself? If it's possible, or we just going to routine out now? Nothing. Politics is a funny thing. We don't know who are you going to get around here again. You never know. We also hear that Donald Trump here, we didn't know that he was going to win, but he came with something here, and there was something the electors grabbed from him, and they just see him as a person, and we saw this big surprise. Sissy, I see you rocking your chain. You're like you're not on planet Earth, right? Mr. Goya.
Yeah, waiting for you to finish with the pie in the sky thing. Look, just because you get dirty water with pepper inside and salt inside and feet inside, hit me that pepper soup. Look, man.
No, go ahead.
The Liberian people voted for doctor, ambassador, rabbi, musician, Bekugbe, Fokeklon, with the expectation that he learned or that he was, they took him as it is.
The Fumia tonight is
the contest 2029 that. But Terry, how you must say in Minnesota, one internet suffering?
If you get two phones, cut one off.
No, actually, using my laptop.
Oh, using your laptop? Okay. I'm using my computer so I can cut my two phone off to make the network strong.
Yeah. So, like Mr. So was saying, to say that if the CDC run, they will suffer just this loss of the ANC. How ANC went from 7% to whatever that number is, I can't call it. Joe, we also about the same fate. Because right now the CDC itself is having its own problem. This problem with the speakership is so
yeah, internet is bad.
Yeah, I think I just gotta go. I know who are hacking my internet. The Wilton Keto, the Teddy Tail Lion, the Breakable Power, I even but now the my Esther. I'm calling names tonight. I'm calling names. All of y'all hacking my internet tonight. No, but the folks that are watching us in Minnesota, it's snowing, and I'm actually in Abbeville. So I'm like countryside Minnesota. So the internet, but I think I would just watch the show. But it's been a good show. I was hoping.
No, but you can go and come in. Let's see. Maybe it will be different. You can go and come back.
I was just watching the show. No, I was just watching the show. I think it's really bad. I'll watch the show, but it's been a good show. Hopefully I'll be on tomorrow. Good night, everybody.
All right.
All right.
Well, the CEO in the back, so Mr. Bacon, yeah, you can go ahead.
Sorry, I thought I was even on there talking. No, I said that we're going to be having one bishop coming on, as we talk national issue, we'll also go back to the community here. But quickly, it's 10 o'clock, but you guys can still join. They're having some sort of anniversary. But this is what I received. This event, I was chatting, we were even on with one of the lawmaker. Let me see what this guy was. He said, I'm greatly disappointed in the boycott administration as to how they have decided to look down on our Constitution, and laws of our country. But no matter the case, he's speaking for himself. I will remain standing. I will remain standing with the laws and the constitutions of the country. I cannot point out any wrongdoing to the speaker. There are some people that have people.
Who's that?
That's one of the lawmakers with Fanatic Kofa. I cannot point out any wrongdoing with the speaker without giving him the due process of the law. Speaker Kofa removal is a plan to hold on the financial arm of the Republic of Liberia and further damage it completely. To conclude, I am done. Liberia is going nowhere on President Boyka. And this other lawmaker wrote, we will certainly talk about making history. Okay. The budget, and he mentioned something critical here. We need to discuss that, and that's what I'm waiting to see what really going to happen. The budget needs the speaker's signature, which is correct. At the end of the day, the signatures that should be on that budget, the speaker's signature. The budget needs the speaker's signature before it is transmitted to the executive. So without it is illegal, and we will get what? International community support, and we will take a legal fight. Now, this year, what is happening now too, I'm not sure whether the group here, this so-called bloc or whatever, I'm not sure whether they are having a good political gaming as well, because they have not even gone through the first. I see their desperation and some sort of vengeance to pay back or to say, oh, we're going to pay our debt because this person do this. No, I don't think they are going ahead, removing people, appointing committees and all of that. When you still have the sitting speaker, that is troubling. No, and it is true, it is part of their provision. The budget is there. I mean, it's in the law. The budget there needs the speaker's signature. So how, if it goes to the legal stand, legal form, that is with the Supreme Court, now we see where the government has sent this budget. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Ultimately, at the end of the day, there will be a vote to ask to have the speaker to remove. Whether they're going to get that number, that's it. They are going ahead now. Terry, is he a violation in the midst of not even having the speaker being removed? And it is under the gavel of the speaker. These committees were constituted, and you're going ahead now, removing people, putting them in because you said they are not there. Is somebody violating the laws here?
First of all, Mr. So, I'm not a lawyer. Let me just give that disclaimer. And most of the time, we speak to issues on the basis of what we're reading and on the basis of our own opinion. President Boyka, I believe, before he submitted the budget, consulted a lawyer, and the lawyer told him to proceed in the way he did. And most of the people, like we listen to Thomas Father, they say they consulted a lawyer, all of that. Now, in my view, if you ask me, Terry, what you think about the whole thing? I would say to you clearly that it don't look lawful. It don't look lawful. But this have been the precedent that Honorable Fonati Kofa, along with his gang of people, of all of them, this was the precedent they set, including the Mervyn Cole, because I think Mervyn Cole were there too, all of them. So these were the bad precedents that they set on a previous administration that they are proceeding with. All right. But if you look at the law, like I was saying, Prayer Brown Boo, this woman said she was 30 years old when President Doe, nominated them through Song and Censor or so. And that was how come they presided over the 1986 Constitution. And when they inserted that the presiding officer, talking about the presiding officer, is actually referring to the speaker. And I was just reading the American Constitution. It's the same when the American Constitution says the presiding officer in the lower house, they're speaking about the speaker. But a presiding don't have to necessarily mean the speaker. But when you say presiding officer, you are speaking directly to the speaker. But I think it was vague, because even if she is saying that this is what it is, that the presiding officer should be the speaker, you cannot just put presiding officer and expect it to be the speaker. I think they were supposed to clearly state that the speaker is the one responsible to preside. Then, with that being said, it becomes easy. But now people are interpreting it, lawyers are interpreting it per their perspective and per the law view. So you cannot also say that they are wrong. So what I'm saying, Mr. So, is that since these guys decide to have a quorum, and the quorum is holding, I just reading something right now on Front Page Magazine is telling me that the House of Senate have declined to consider the draft budget from the lower house. So that is from Front Page. That's coming up today. That is coming up the 21st, which is today in Liberia. So if that be the case, then there will be a little glitch. There's going to be a glitch. But
they have to concur, because just not only coming from, and I've been seeing, not to interrupt you, this guy here, Chief, been doing a lot of writing and other people for it, just not only with the House. I think the process is severe. There's still some hiccup out there. I mean, based on what you are even saying right now.
Yeah, so lastly, so Mr. So the thing here is the precedent that was set in the past. That is, you see the old map that was plotted before, that what the boys are looking at to plot a new map. So this is the crisis we have. And the only thing I can recommend for the speaker to do, like I always say on the show, is to resign instead of keeping the country hostage, because he claimed that he's fighting for the rule of law. In my opinion, I think that is not true. All right. I think he's fighting to protect his interests, and it can clearly be seen by other lawmakers. All the lawmakers have the constituents. They got thousands of people that depending on them to also bring money home. So if you're fighting for the speaker, for what reason are you fighting? Because when the speaker maintain his position, only those who are on the committees that the money will pass through, and the speaker budget that he will preserve. Is there anything in there for you? What are you fighting for? So that is why some of these lawmakers are removing. They're going to where the budget is, because they got to discuss the budget to protect their interests and their constituents, because their constituents are depending on them as well. So if you're protecting the speaker, you're defending him, oh yeah, the speaker will not go there. But when the speaker remains, who benefits? At the end of the day, who benefits? The speaker budget is 1,700,000. That is the speaker budget for the year. It have increased 1,700,000 in the new draft budget. So if the speaker remains and you're fighting for him to remain, who benefits? So I'm not surprised to see lawmakers shifting.
Well, yeah, but I don't know what I'm calling for the resignation of the speaker. There's a simple process. Why these people, why they can't go through, why they want to circumvent the law to have it their way? That's been
because they can't get it, because they cannot get it 49.
So if they can't get it, then so be it. That's what we saw. You and I know here. We know here. Jerry Bacon knows that. But this sort of politics and this kind of deliberate action, and this, when I say this is a complete orchestration of President Joseph Newman Boycott, is the one that is causing the problem here. And I'll give you a day. What he has done, and you guys do not want to speak, his constitutional neglect, where you have foreign soldiers on your soil, and he gone to his alma mater in Sierra Leone. It's ridiculous. And you don't want
to. That's true. What you say, I read your headline, and your headline is in place. But what I wanted to say to that budget thing is that if these people do not remove COFA, let it be fear here. We're going into another year of a budget year. So, and that budget year, 2025, is a whole budget year. So if you don't remove COFA now, before the budget is passed, COFA budget remain constant, and everything he did in the previous years will flow into next year. So the people cannot wait for 49. So because they got 43, they have to the process to put pressure on him to resign. Because they cannot afford to go on another fiscal year with the speaker in presiding, having these same discrepancies. Are you understanding me, Mr. Bacon? You know,
Bacon will always be, you play into Bacon playbook. So for him, so I'm not going to understand that. But Terry, you always have a point here. If it is not done right, anything that is not done right is just not done. That it is what it is. That's what the law says. This is why before, you know, you guys, the way you behave, is not good. You're not doing Labrador well. And at some point in time, Labrador going to take you guys to court singly, and we will not defend you. Because this is why when you want to play your politics, you have to play that game well and well. Joseph Boycott did it horribly, and he didn't really lock it up. You know why? When the president, I can remember when like Doe, they used to have like a liaison with the executive mansion and that of the Capitol. Jerry Bacon knows that, right? So if they appoint people, that committee, that person, the liaisons, no matter how that appointment looks like, that person will start lobbying with the committee. They will do everything, make sure they get that vote, do everything. Even it happens here, before that nomination is even put on the floor. Any other thing now is just out of a formality. What I'm saying here to say, and I know, and you have made a very good point here that yes, it's all politics, because Joseph Boycott, every president wants speaker from his side in order to get his agenda pushed. Clear cut. CDC, they don't understand that they kind of they are Abu Kiri too. They kind of just something there and they just flow with it, not knowing the games Unity Party were playing, and they just flow with it. Because if you look at the whole thing here, they are wondering about, wait a minute, how in the world an opposition get such a valuable number 3 person in power and all of them voting? Do you think Republican here are able to easily do that, or Democrat? Maybe 1 or 2%. But look at this wave of people here. This is a clear indication these people, they do not have morals, no political ideology. They don't represent anything. They just say they're part of those parties, but they don't even know the value of those parties. That's exactly what these people are doing. They don't know. And here we are in this thing here. So I'm saying the president didn't do his homework good. First and foremost, they should make sure that magic number is on your side, and then you allow this sort of political insurrection, renegade group to come, but that didn't happen. Jerry Bacon, go ahead. Let me send this over the line for her to come home.
Listen, Mr. CEO, where are you going with this thing? That's so ridiculous for you to come here. What?
Okay.
Mr. CEO, you know, the president do this one, the president do this one, the president's supposed to do this. The president is doing the right thing. Look what he did today. Suspended. Time indefinite. Those are supposed to retire. Say, let them go back to work. This is a thing. That's wise men make decision. You must not like it. but it's a playbook the president's playing. Look, I sent it to them. We sent it to the presiding officer. Look, what happened? Do you know? Since he sent a budget to the presiding, you know how many persons are defected? So you might not like it.
Yeah.
But that's what it is. So I'm not even going to dignify, sit down here and dignify all your tabata you talking. So I'm even going to dignify it. Let's get another topic that we can talk about. But yes, man. If we are closing, or if your guests are coming out, then that's something different. But if we are closing, me to
nothing wrong with that. That's the same community. We just want to.
Yes, what happened? This is alarming. This is concerning. Here is the Minister of Internal Affairs. Allegation. And that's allegation. But these are reputed institutions, especially the Ministry of Internal Affairs. They control the entire country. Because all the superintendent, all the clan chief, all the town chief, all the district, everybody. He coordinates and report to the president. It's such an allegation. I think it should be taken very seriously. I know it's an allegation, but the question there is, why would you want to put yourself in a compromised position?
Right.
Yeah, it come back to this lack of leadership, because Joseph Boyka his people, they never vetted their people. They were just grabbing people, and they say some of these people brought in and just put them there. And you don't want to admit that lack of leadership, because it is the boss stuck with him. That's what Terry said. That's what you said. So if people even bring people, it is your responsibility to make sure that's the right people. But you didn't do it. You want to come, you telling me say I'm ridiculous? Who you myself who been ridiculous? You brought people you don't know now, and the alligator groom is getting out of the zoo, and then you want to cry.
Mr. So, look,
okay. I think
the president.
I think our guest is here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, as you know, we always talk about community and the society, and not just on the government. Let me see here.
Quickly, so before we take leave for you.
Are you driving?
No, I just got home. I'm home now.
Okay. Is it possible to gain a light? It's seeing some place look a little bit dark. Is it possible to give us some light?
It's very dark. I try. How do you put the light on? I want to see if this will help.
We need to change your location or something.
Yeah, I think so. I hear that side. It's still cloudy and dark.
All the light too bright at the back.
It's dark. If I move it, it's dark. I don't know what to do. Over here. Can I come here? Maybe what?
Okay, I think that's much better. That's much better. That's much better. I don't want the audience to say, "Well, who talking with?" We're not seeing the person. We're seeing dark shadow. Okay. Before.
See myself.
Really?
So dark. Yeah.
I think she's in a better position now.
Okay, now I think you can see me right a little bit.
Yeah, much
I think we're okay now.
Okay.
Better than before.
Okay. All right. The guys are all here. We're gonna have a conversation, gentlemen. Mr. Bachman, you're making a statement. Quickly, you can go ahead and can break in our guests.
Oh no, I'm done with it. I mean, the idea here is, like I was saying, the position of the internal affairs is one of the strategic positions in our country. Even if it's different country, the Minister of or Internal Affairs is also part of the national security. They are part of the, but within our country, that's not the same. But the idea, such an allocation, I think it should be done with expeditiously, and he have to come up. I know it stays soon, but he had to address the nation, especially by his position.
Okay. Terry, you want to stick around, or you guys? What it's up to you.
No, I will just head out, but I wanted to say, like you said, huh?
Yeah.
You
Make
want
a
me to stay a little bit? I can stay a little bit and hang out with you guys for
yeah.
just at least 30, 20
Yeah.
minutes, 30 minutes.
Okay, that's fine. We're about to talk about God. Jared, because Jared has been saying a lot of time, so we're about to talk about God things. So maybe you feel Jared. Okay, let's get it going. Bishop Mercy,
Listen,
good evening.
I'm a Catholic. I'm a
Good
Catholic.
evening.
Okay. Good to have you. To welcome on LPR. To the gentlemen, we always have our regular program, so they are here as well. Just to listen, the audience still in place. Okay, but quickly, just introduce yourself, and then we'll get to the main conversation. Who is Bishop Mason?
Praise the Lord, Bishop Mason. Bishop Mary Ann McLean Mason is a child of God who loves to do the things of God. Just a humble servant. I'm happy to be on your studio tonight. Be in your studio tonight. I'm only here to talk about our anniversary and the things of God.
Absolutely, and that's the conversation we want to pivot to now. And we want to say for us here on the from the Liberal Public Radio side, we say we appreciate your patronage to this network. Not a year going to pass by. You always reach out. If we didn't do so, to share whatever you have and also be part of anniversary. 20, is it 27 or 21st? 27?
No, it's November 24th at 2 p.m. It's this coming Sunday. And the
Okay.
address, yeah,
How many
November.
how many years anniversary? That's what I'm trying to
Yes.
look at.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be 27 years.
27 years. That's remarkable. And the Breath of God Ministry International, correct?
Yes, we have a church in Liberia in here.
Okay.
But unfortunately, they broke our churches down in Liberia. But we can't stop doing the work of God. We are still holding on.
Okay. So, yeah, tell us a little bit here what is expected, and I believe it's in Philadelphia.
Ye-
Uh,
ye- Yes, we are excited about our 27th year of our church anniversary, the Breath of God Ministry. We are inviting all of our friends, Facebook friends, the LMADV, the different organizations in Philadelphia that we also support. We are asking them to come and join us to celebrate this year because it's all about God. To God be the glory for the things He has done in our lives and continue to do for us. So the
yeah,
Breath of God ministry is excited.
yeah, Jerry, so you want to?
No, I said our camera is shaking. His
Yeah,
hands picking
okay,
up.
yeah, okay. Our folks they
No,
want to know
I don't
Bishop.
want shaking maybe my head. I don't know.
Okay. So
So,
this anniversary, what are you anticipating? So what do you expect to achieve? What is the goal? Are you doing
No,
fundraiser?
the, yeah, our anniversary, our goal, our team, our mission is to do the work of God. Is to do the work of God in totality. Everything is about the work of God. We are seven, and we just want to celebrate that day because all of our members that have been coming to service, we appreciating them, and we want them to know that with God being our help all through the things that they have been through. They lost their family, COVID came. Wherever we have struggled through, we know that God is still with us and He promised He will never leave us, but He will be with us even to the end of time. So, because of that, we are holding on to God and want to celebrate the name, the breath of God ministry to the word. When the word to know that how good God is, even when we are not good to ourselves, He's still good to us.
And I did hear you saying you have ministry in Liberia as well, but they broke them down.
Oh yes, we built a compound, two houses, the church, and everything. In fact we have basketball tournaments in Carisburg. Every year we used to travel to Liberia and have basketball tournaments to the various parts of Liberia, Carisburg, Cinco, Oro. I can't even remember some of the places 'cause I've not been Liberia for over 30 years, but I used to travel to have church and to just celebrate the children, feed them and celebrate them. But guess what? Bring clothes and everything. But the government, they went and they broke their houses down. They said we built on the somebody else's land, which of course we have the how you call it the grandma deal or something deal. We have everything, but because we're here, we can't fight them right now. So we just give God the glory, and God will restore, for God to restore our heart, because I was really broken when I heard to build a house in your own country, the way we suffer and work here is really hard. And when they broke my houses down, but I give God the glory because He's worthy to be praised. We can't give up. So that's why the ministry right now is struggling in Liberia, but we're trying to, restart doing what we have been doing. Through the help of God, we know we come through.
So basically, when it comes to Liberia, the activities of the ministry is kind of like on hold, considering the fact that the physical structure is down, correct?
Yes, the Bible said, don't let your right hand know what your left hand doing. But right now, we are active in Liberia and we give God the glory.
Okay. So let's return to the May event, 27 years. What part of is it predominantly Liberian ministry or some sort of interdenominational ministry? Your
You would
church?
not believe it. You would not believe it. God have given us, God will send people to the church and the international members we have. We have people from Jamaica, Haiti, Liberian, Americans, white, majority white. So we give God the glory for those that He has sent us to us. But they are not all African, no. We have
Hmm.
missed people, yeah.
What specifically besides the Word of God, other churches involved in giving back to the community and other? And I know we do have a very huge Liberian community, all people. Are there other things your ministry, your church is involved in terms of community engagement?
Oh yes, Liberia and the United States of America. We feed the we hungry ones. We clothe them. Oh my God, we even we do too much. I can't even explain. We even the one in Liberia we send clothes and everything. Even in America we feed the children on the street, young girls, 18, 20 years old come to church, not dressed well. We would put hair on them, change their clothes, feed them. Yes, we do that. We cater to the people, to our community. And I also involved with Liberian Minister Association, which our president last few years ago, but we have a new president now, past Apostle Miller. We support our community in Liberia. We send things to Liberia. We help other people, but I don't know if people recognize what we do. I even traveled to Liberia and we when they were renovated the Liberia Council of Churches building. We did a lot of stuff with our own money. And I came back. It's a lot because we love our country, Liberia. But I just pray Liberia can, the country can love us in return. But we give God the glory for what has happened.
27 years, that's huge though. Even though you guys want to come in, that's fine. 27 years, that's huge. So, what is the goal for this year? Is there a sort of theme or is there a specific thing that you're targeting for this year? Where do you want to see this thing end?
Well, it's never ending because it's the work of God. We have been called to do His ministry, and when you are called, you are not sent, or when you don't go by yourself. I don't care how hard it may be. God will continue to strengthen us as we continue to carry on His ministry work. So our goal is to reach out and bring more souls into the house of God. So that's my mission. We are servants. You know, we are servant of God, and we are to cater to the people.
Okay, I think Mr. Collins, I think you wanted to come in, right, Terry?
Yeah. I just hi again. I'm Terry Collins, and
Nice
I'm
meeting you,
also a
too.
pastor. Yeah, I just wanted to know which denomination you belong to. You got Pentecostal, Baptist, Methodist,
we are
Evangelical.
we are Pentecostal.
Which kind? Charismatic or just Pentecostal?
Yeah, charismatics, Pentecostal. But originally, my parents are Methodist and Baptist, but I married a Pentecostal pastor, so I'm a folk Pentecostal preacher. And I'm
Okay,
happy.
so you believe in the baptism of the Holy Ghost, evidence of speaking in tongues?
Oh, yes, definitely. I believe in the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus Christ.
No, not that. The baptism of the Holy Ghost and the evidence of
Yes,
speaking in
yes,
tongues.
yes, yes, yes. I
Okay.
answered
So
already. Yes.
what are your challenges? What are your challenges? Do you have some challenges like for the past years? What are some of your
Concerning
difficult
what? Oh,
like
okay. What some of the difficulties, things that happen? Well, few months ago, as I said, I had a stroke, but God healed me, and I couldn't even speak. And now I'm speaking. I couldn't walk. My whole right
wow.
side, I couldn't walk. I just went to work, came home, and had a stroke. But the God we serve, He's a wonderful God. Just as we preach the word of God and believe His word, it came through for me. And now look at me talking. I can talk. I mean, a few months ago, I'm still going through, but I've been blessed. And I really
Amen.
appreciate the God that we serve. He's a miracle working God. I believe strongly in God, and I know His work, and that's why I'm following Him. I'm serving Him, and I'm giving Him the glory today for carrying our church for 27 years. We have never closed. We have never asked for money to help. It just God just been providing. We don't put how you call it thing, send the offering around 4 or 5 times, 3 times, just for money. No, He provides. And as I'm saying, I can speak. I can lift up my hands. I can move my leg. I went back to work last week. I just give God the glory for everything He's doing and continue to do in my life. We are only servant of God.
Wow.
And we want to celebrate 27 years. We have never taken extra offering or selling something at the church, making the house of God like a market. We never, God have been carrying us. And we just thank God for what He has done and continue to do. We will not believe it. Things can happen to you, but as He said, don't let your left hand know what your right hand doing. There are some things that just pray about it. And that's what I've been doing. And now look at me. Sometimes I would take the mic and sing, and I can't even, nobody can hear me singing. Sometimes I would take the
Wow.
mic and be preaching God's word. I know people will be, people will laugh at you and say, "Oh, look at Bishop preaching and she making mistake." I will preach a word and when I make mistake, I will come back and preach it again. The same text in scripture. Because that's the God we serve. The faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. I know and I know my God. I know who I serve. So I believe in Him strongly. I hope I'm not taking your time, but I'm just excited about the
No,
things of
no.
God.
I just curious to know like when I talk about the challenges, and it was good that you share that testimony of your challenges personally, of what you encounter, which is a very good thing, is a mighty thing. We thank God for that. But I also mean your challenges in your vision, like if for 27 years, what did you anticipate? I think Mr. So asked you that question earlier. What is it you anticipated to be in, to be at by now? Like, and there have been some challenges. Maybe it could be your illness that reduce your ability to be able to, like, for example, I have a vision of being in maybe 30 countries within the next 10, 15, 20 years, what are some of the challenges that you face in preaching the gospel, in being able to plant churches, in being able to spread? What are some of your challenges? What are some of your limitations, your barrier, like languages, different nationalities, like that.
I
For the past
understand.
27 years,
Oh yes,
what
I
have been
understand.
your serious
Oh my
challenges?
God. I don't know if I
Other
would call it challenge or I would call it blessings. I have traveled all over the world. I went, in fact, since I got hurt, I've been to Jamaica, I've been to Canada, I've been Florida, I've been all over the world proclaiming the gospel of Jesus Christ. So I don't know if that's a challenge. I don't know what God is doing, but He just opening doors and I'm traveling. I just traveling. That's what I see myself doing. And when it comes to challenge, that I would call challenge, is like we've been serving in this building for almost 9 years, going to 13 years. And the Sunday of our anniversary, the owner just came to us and said, look, you got to give us our building this weekend because my things are on the ship and they are coming. I need the space to put my stuff in. Now I will call that challenge because you've been to a place for 13 years and this man is giving you 1 week to move. And that 1 week is your anniversary. I tell you what, our 24th year. Now I would call that challenge because I just look up to the hill from whence cometh my help. I came home, I went into my empty room, I cried upon the Lord. I said, Father God, open doors, make a way. I took the telephone. I started calling all the churches around Upper Darby, Drexel Hill, Broomall. I started calling my environment, my community. And guess what? One Methodist church answered me. And you would not believe what God has done. The place that we're worshiping could take like what, 150 people. God give us a real church building that can take more than 200 people. That's the God we serve. You understand? That's the God we serve. Now I would call that a challenge because I had 1 week and I didn't know what to do. The only thing I could do is to call upon the Lord. Even right now, physically, I may have challenge. I may not look like the way I used to look. That's why I turn my face when I'm talking, you know. But yet and still, I can speak. I can proclaim the gospel of Jesus Christ. I will continue to do it as long as I live. So
Amen.
that's what I call challenge. I mean, but He opening doors. I preach it all over the place. We Jackie for Jamaica, we Jackie for Canada. I mean, God opening doors. Iowa, Virginia, I mean, I name it. We all over the place. And I give God the glory for that.
Over to
It's
you,
a
Mrs.
new thing He's doing in my life. But
Now,
again, I already asked for this section to proclaim and announce to my friends, my relatives that they should come and celebrate with us. Celebrate Jesus. We are celebrating. And that is why we are here tonight, you know.
Yeah, is there like an open invitation? You invite other churches, members, and other people from other places, or
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you know, the reason why I'm doing this because we're president for Liberian Minister Association for 2 times. You know what I mean? And a lot of people got to know me in the community. So usually when we're having something, I just invite them. Who want to come will come. You know, I just send an invitation to come and they always do. And we give God the glory for that.
Wow, wow.
Madam Bishop, let me ask you, when was the last time you ever visited? When was the last time you were in Liberia?
Yeah, when they broke my houses down. And that what gave me the stroke. I was too stressed. The last time, I mean, answer that question. When was the last time? 2 years ago. And the first year, in fact, when I was 30 years old here, I went home for the first time and I renovated the Liberian Council of Churches building. I don't know the era Cinco, I don't know. We restore it like, yeah, painted the building, clean it up, and I restoring. Yeah, putting windows on and all that, cleaning the yard, building children playground, in the yard. We did a lot of things in Liberia. Our heart is for Liberia. I love my country. We even had tournaments. See the kids being happy, having how many teams? I think we're more than 4 teams. Children were happy. Then we went to Cinco. We had tournament. We were just traveling places. We stayed 3 weeks in Liberia and came back. But then when I came back, they broke my houses down. I mean, what you know what it is to build one house? What it take in America? You got to work. And not nobody giving you nothing free. Well, I really hurt. I don't know. That's what made me say. I really don't know what happened. Because when I heard the news, I just got sick. But anyway, I'm not here for that. I'm only here to give God the glory for 27 years of the ministry. We are asking people to come on and celebrate Christ. Come and celebrate God. It's not about me. It's not about Dr. Mason. It's about the kingdom.
So
How many?
are you anticipating going back to Liberia after why you the step back
To God be the glory. He have to. I read it that's my country. I would like to go home one day. I really would like to come home. I even anticipating next year to try and get home, go home. 'Cause all my friends went this December. I always go time like this, but I give God the glory again. But I was really hurt. But thank God.
my question is provocated because you see Nehemiah went home to build his country, regardless when he was going home to return to build his country. And we are very fortunate to be here, and especially if Liberians are going home to make contribution in our homes and see how they is in our county, in our various, wherever we district or county we're from. So I mean, I applaud you. And I know you know the Bible better than I do, but Nehemiah went home to build his country. And I hope you'll find reasoning. I know it is tough. You work hard, or the God led you to go back to Liberia to do such a thing. And hopefully, God will test you and bless you again and see if He can find means to go back to our country. It is not easy. When God was taking Moses from, when God told him, say, I want you to take my people to the promised land, he never told him, say, it was going to be a rain, it was going to be a snow, it was going to be a snake, it was going to be a mountain, it was going to be a river. All God told him, say, I want you to carry my people to the promised land. So there will be a lot of challenges. And he's one of my favorite person in the power. So anything as a leader, I always look out also Moses because Moses was a leader, and there was a challenge when you were taking the people to the promised land. And
Even Abraham, you know that? Even Abraham was comfortable, and God told him to go to a strange land. So we know all these things for your own country. I mean, they could have just tell me to buy another land. Why would they break good buildings down? Your own country. I mean, I didn't go to Jamaica and build a house. I didn't go Canada. But anyway, when I read the Bible, the same thing you say. There are so many things for you that will happen. He said it would not be easy. He didn't promise us that it would be easy. He said there will be trials and tribulation. But among everything he amazes us that he will be with us even until the end of time. He will never leave us as we go through these things that we are going through. But it hurt. We are human beings. So it hurt, but we give God the glory for what He
Yeah,
has done and continue to do.
yeah. Quick, this weekend, right? How many days activities is expected for this whole thing? When is it starting?
Well, you know that America, so we're only doing our church anniversary. We're not doing days. We're only doing the church anniversary. We're gonna have prayer on Saturday and prayer night, and then Sunday we celebrate upstairs and downstairs. We have food and everything for the people.
Will there be some gospel artists?
Refreshment.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
yeah.
going to be
Oh
gospel.
my God, yes. We're gonna have our own Liberian legend. I think what's his name again, Jesus? Big Steve gonna be singing at the at the church.
Okay.
And
Do
he's
you
a
guys
gospel artist. I heard most of his spiritual music. And I said, oh my God, if God can change anybody, Paul, he can change anybody. So it's good that we
so do
open
you
our
have
hearts
do
for our own
you guys
Liberian. Yeah.
do you guys look having a guest speaker? And which state is that?
We are in Pennsylvania, in the Upper Darby. We're in Drexel Hill. The church is in Drexel Hill. But yeah, we do have a guest preacher.
Okay.
Right?
Well, the reason, is good for you, and I know Mr. Bacon asked some critical question about going back to Liberia, but
Mm-hmm.
it depends on your assignment. If you are called
Amen.
in a certain, if you are called in a certain place, and you leave that place of assignment and go to another place to establish ministry, you are left the place God have assigned you. So sometimes you will find difficulties establishing ministry in Liberia, even though you're from Liberia, but you will find success and breakthrough in establishing ministry in America because of the assignment that which God have aligned you. So sometimes you will have challenges. It's not bad to go back to your country and restart a work, but you got to pray about it and know whether if do God want me to go to Liberia and establish a work now? Do He want me to do it next year? Do He want me to do it 2 years from now? But that's something that you got to be sure that God is leading you to do it before you do it, or else you're gonna have people kicking you out. You're gonna buy, you're gonna pay money for places that you did not look it up, and somebody come and get you out of the place. But yeah, but however, I want to celebrate with you as a person, and I really admire your short story about your, the
God is
condition you are in,
able. Yeah. Thank you.
and your testimony is a motivation to me as well. And I hope that that program be a very good one and a mighty blessing to your
Oh, God
community.
bless. Amen, amen.
Yeah.
But the Bible says, go ye therefore and teach all nations. The Bible also says, suffer little children to come unto me. And the children playing soccer. I mean, can you believe? We had I think 3,000 people on the field. So how can it not be God? It got to be God. People, the church we built, there was no space for people to sit. The people had to stand outside the church building. We can't even have that amount of people in America. It had to be God for us to go
Yeah,
home and support our own children. But again, to God be the glory.
yeah, it's true that sometimes you can start something and it can materialize, and maybe God will just want you to minister to one person. That
Mm,
person now that you minister to, even though there was a mighty 3,000 group of people, but maybe only one person from there will go and establish ministry somewhere to make impact. So you did not fail. You did what God
amen.
wanted you to do at that time, and God have already done the work. So even though people came and thinking that they're destroying the work of God, nobody can destroy the church. The mission you went on have already impacted into lives that is going to make impact in other lives, and they are already doing it that you may not even know about.
Amen.
You know, so I
And
think that is what.
can you believe I traveled to Liberia and I was part of Women for Jesus conference? After 30 years from Reverend Matilda Todd. She is the one in Archbishop Matilda Todd. She in charge of the Women for Jesus, and we traveled to Liberia. I was the only one from the United States. Among all the foreign women, we went to pray for Liberia. And I preached at the Stillion, the Anthony Stillion. I think I preached there that year. Samuel Kanye to Stillion. So
So
I
do you
like
have
my
a team?
country. I always in
Do you guys
Liberia
have
when
a
they
team?
call me. Yeah.
Do you guys have a team for the program, a Pacific team?
For this year.
Yes, yes. God, our God is enough. Well, I just take it off my head now. I think God is enough for us. God, yeah. I don't want to, miss anything, but I know God is enough. Our God is enough. God is enough. Yeah, God is enough for us. We don't need to play and seek anything else but God, and He is enough for us.
Yeah, yes, that's the thing. Our God is enough.
Thank you, thank you.
More,
I don't want to
more
guess. I want to make sure.
Yeah, more than enough. Now, let me ask you, I know it's late, almost 11. Our guy Mazola going to be there. We're going to see those colorful images. This and that. One of the things here with all of the good work and everything you're doing, 27 years, that's huge. So let me ask you this question. Are you also mentoring or looking your country congregation? There will come a time I will want to see the fruit of my labor. Do you
Mhm.
the process to have somebody where the bishop you retire with your husband, but you want to see the ministry going on? One of the things we do, we don't build institutions around ourselves, and then when we no longer are that institution, that I don't think that's what you want to do. Have you began the process of making that institution to grow, even when you decide to say, I retire, I want to rest now with my husband? Is that something you guys are working towards now too?
Well, now this the pastor. He can answer that
What's
question.
that? What's that?
What was the question? Asking one more time.
Praise the Lord. How you doing? How are you?
Good to have you, Pastor, and good to
Uh,
have you here. What I was
this was
asking, yeah,
mhm.
what I was asking is from time to time, be whatever society, we don't sustain our institution, be it church or whatever it is. But with 27 years, that's huge, your commitment, and that's commendable. But I was asking whether you have begun the process to prepare somebody from in the congregation that when tomorrow, when you decide to retire, that this ministry will continue to stay on and that people are going to make reference to it.
Our
well,
children.
well,
Yes.
we have our children, and they have been in the ministry, and they preach the word, and we have them in the church that to carry the work on. But
No.
presently, we don't have anybody in the audience that because the church, when the church started, we were catering towards the homeless, uh, getting food for them, giving them clothes, and teaching them the word, taking them off the street, and all of that.
Been the TV ministers.
Yeah, ordaining ministers and stuff. But presently, we don't have a particular person now, unless God lays somebody else on our heart. But right now, our children, they have been in the ministry with us for years, and they have been traveling with us all over. So
Okay.
presently, our mind is on one of them that way, continue on the work.
And the husband's active too, and that's a blessing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, that's good. I mean, that's a good contingency plan because you want that legacy to be there, and most of the
Definitely,
time,
definitely,
yeah, our
definitely.
people don't look at that. They don't consider it. They just do it, and when decide to retire or say I'm trying to relocate, then that's the end of it. And that's what I was curious uh, to look about. If you look at these 27, before we let you go, guys, go here. 27 years, that's huge. What
Yeah.
was there a time that you know what? I thought I want to get this thing work out, but I need to do something else different. Was there a time you came to that point?
What point?
Well, what I'm asking is, in everyone's life, be it in the Church of God,
Uh-huh.
sometimes it comes a really formidable time
Uh-huh.
where that movement, she will explain a very good, wonderful success story here. So I was wondering, 27 years, what was, maybe you can share with us, what was the most difficult or maybe challenging time that maybe your faith was being put to test, if you will?
Well, the most challenging time that I can think on was during the COVID time, because before the COVID, the church where we had a lot of members, people coming in the church, so now we go, we meet people standing or waiting in the snow, waiting for us to open the church door. But when the COVID came, the numbers dropped, and we only have few people coming to church. That was one of the most, time that we were really tested. But then we were persistent, because the scripture said, where 2 or 3 gather, God said he would be in the midst. So we were persistent. Sometimes we go to church with just 3 or 4 in the church, and we're there because most people were home because of the COVID. Those are one of the times that were really testing to our, our walk with God. But when God calls you, he makes provisions for you, and our hope is built on nothing less but Jesus Christ, so, and our relationship, though we fellowship with men, but our relationship with God. And when God sends you, you have to go, you have to adhere to his call. So we were only going there because we know that even with 2 or 3 in the building, we know that God was always among us. So we were persistent in whatsoever we were called by God to do.
Never closed the door.
Never closed the door. There one Sunday we never closed the door. We were there, even with 2 or 3 in the church, we were there during the COVID time. Those are one of the most tested time in our lives.
Wow. And indeed,
So have you guys any support internationally as we speak, like that you have depending on to support the ministry? How do you guys get along? Do you have, besides the membership and besides the support from
But you see, most of the members, the membership, most of them we assist them because we have that taste for soul, because the Bible said the harvest is ripe, the laborers are few. So we should pray that God bring more laborers into the vineyard. So we didn't want to put any financial situation in front of the church that we discourage the people or make them feel that we are looking for money. So we work and we supported the church. We had no outside assistant. We worked and supported the church, my wife and myself, and sometimes my children, because my children sometimes they come. I can remember, I think about 7 years ago, most of the members then, my children bought coat for them, winter coat, and and help them. And help them in the different
that
needs.
Way you don't compromise the word of God.
In the different needs.
You can preach it freely.
You see,
and
so
talented.
we never had outside assistance. Everything we did it on our own by the grace of God. Because when God sent you, he supplied your need according to his riches in glory. So we were not depending, we're not looking at the finance, we're just looking at the souls. We were praying that God may bring more souls into his vineyard, because
we were spending on them.
We were spending. Even in Liberia, that my wife talk about Liberia. When Liberia, we use our own money. My wife, because the minister, the council of ministers there in Liberia, called my wife to install them, the different officers.
$9,000
Yeah. My wife went and she renovated the council of churches a building, I think on 9th Street or something, 10th or 9th Street, renovated it, put gate there, painted the building, and did everything there. And
by the beach
besides that, we have cruises in these different Sincor, Carrisburg, and all these different places. And we carry, when we're going, we carry a medicine in a with no assistant, only my wife and myself.
It's in that same chamber.
Yeah, you see, so we spend our own money. There was nobody else giving us no money, but we did it because we had a heart for the people. We had a heart for the people, so we did it all on our own.
Still doing it.
And we're still doing it. We're still doing it.
Right. Okay. Well, it's late, and we're going to be watching those images coming from PA. Our guy Mazola going to be there to bring that coverage. And again, for us here, we really appreciate Bishop Eben, years and years, not a single day without there and his rosary to get us to form part of what you are doing. Amen. That is a connection to the community. And we pray and hope the anniversary, 27 years, is huge. I mean, in this country.
27 years.
It's a milestone. Yeah, and to
27 years.
listen to the story, breaking down your church back home, all of that is enough. You know what? Let me just wash my hand. I want to focus on myself. But that's
No, but our eyes is on the hill from whence cometh our help. Because our help comes from no man but God who created the universe. The scripture says he will suffer not his faith to be moved. Behold, he that keepeth Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. So our trust is in him. So we are not looking at the situation, we're looking above the situation and mounting on those situations,
And working.
And so we just trust God and know that God is able to do the impossible. So, all we can say.
But we are grateful to you for bringing us on tonight. We give God the glory for the pastor that is on, the other men that are on. We thank God. Thank you for you guys.
Yeah, and the anniversary.
Strong success is true.
Yeah.
Just for them coming, it shows that God is good.
So we just inviting all our Christian brothers and sisters to come and celebrate with us on our anniversary.
And
their presence will be highly appreciated. And the address?
Appreciate that. The address is 600 Boma Road, Trexler Hill, PA 19026. 600 Boma Road, Trexler Hill, PA 19026.
And it's 2
o'clock. 2 p.m.
This coming Sunday.
The reason I said 2, I always have it in the even 4, is because we want to celebrate downstairs. So the people can sit and enjoy the presence of God.
Okay, Bishop, we want to thank you so much for sharing your wonderful story and success story of the ministry. And I think we should be given opportunity to people to have this conversation, not just politics, because you are making intervention in people's lives. You intercede, you pray for the country, you pray for us, and pray for the world, for peace and all of that sort of thing. People in your group should be heard at all times. And it shouldn't just be only like anniversary. If you feel there's anything you want us to talk about here, or you want to know, just let us know. Our guy Mazola is always there. Let us know, and we'll be able to have that conversation. But thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And don't forget our legend from Liberia, Big Steve.
Is that the same Big Steve?
Yes, I was seeing Big Steve. God using him mightily. And we give God the glory for him.
I say, is he here? He been here all along or what?
Yeah, he been here at the airport. Yeah, he been here.
He been here for years.
Really? I haven't heard about him. Oh, wow, that's good.
Yeah, that's why I found him, because a lot of people singing around here, but for that amount of years, 27 years, a long time. So I said, let me get somebody, who
so he will be our singer on Sunday, this coming Sunday, on the 24th of November. He would be our guest singer.
Well, trust me, we were outside of Pennsylvania. We just glued to LPR because I know the lover boy Manzola gonna be there. We'll be watching those colorful images, celebrations of 27 years. We say praise be to God, and
Amen.
More strength, whatever you're doing out of your own resources, may it be multiplied abundantly.
Amen. Amen.
It's not about us. I just want to make reference that everything we want to give God the glory. You know what I mean?
We also want to thank you for allowing us on your show, and we pray that God may continue strengthening you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Okay.
Good night. Good night, Bishop.
Okay, guys, that's how we're gonna wrap it. I think this kind of conversation. This is a real area. I don't know how Jerry and the liberal drag you into it. It's too much tabata going on there. But this is a real era. Hopefully you start spending some time here. But you are a political reverend, so and politics it came from the church. So I mean, you are rightfully suited. Jerry, am I lying?
Yes, Mr. So it was a wonderful time. Go ahead, Mr. Bago.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
There are three things that rule the world. 3G. The 3G that rule the world. Gun, government, and God. That's it.
You say what?
The Pavela. Oh, Paku.
Gone? Is it what?
Yeah,
but you see what?
There are three things. I said there are three things that rule the world. The 3G.
What? Okay.
3G. Government, God, and guns.
Yeah, just have work out now. He always hang out with wisdom. People with wisdom. Jerry, yeah. So that one part, I'll give it to him.
These are the kind of people the papas want to draw closer to him. He get Mr. back on here. You know,
I even want him to go. Jerry, I even want him to go now, but even though he's on his way. But when they go down there, Vienna, you can't hear. Wow, what man's already new here? And I
tell you,
by the time he got there, he's gonna be a businessman. But then one moment when he tried a temple justice with a
see you. Let me tell you something. As a man in life, you have to have a principle. You have to have a principle. And that principle is, this is who Jerry is, this is what I'm going to do. And you know, that's what it is. For me, I believe my principle.
But and you suppose some wrong thing.
That's all right. I mean, that's an interpretation. But this is what I believe in. There are three people that I believe I formulate my life in. Moses, Joseph, and Joshua. These are the three people that I admire most. I admire for different reasons. I want to sound like a preacher, but I admire Joseph because. Oh no! I'm just telling you, these are the people that I admire. But the Reverend here, the Reverend here. The Reverend here. You see, what I was just saying to the Nehemiah went home. After the war, Nehemiah went home to build his country. So we here, we are also have the opportunity to go home to build our country. So that our responsibility, we have the moral obligation also go home and build our country, regardless of what political affiliation that we might have. But it's our obligation. God had given us. Let me put this in the context. Let me put it in the context. We are very blessed to be here. We are the next generation that are going to be our country. Because you know what, God helps some of us to escape the war and able to survive here and to make a living here. So we morally, spiritually, we are obligated to go home and give back to our country.
What are women went for to Syria?
Man, I'm just telling you, this is what I believe in. We got a pastor here. I'm telling you, this is what I know. My little theology, little knowledge that I have. I mean, maybe he can guide me. I give him the credit. Maybe if I say something contrary, he will believe me. But these are the people that I admire.
Of course.
So you ready to answer my question before we go?
No, what a question, sir.
What did Papa want for the Syria? What really he went for? I really want
to
know.
That's a cool question. That's a cool question. First of all, Liberia is a founding member of the Mountain River Union. We are the architect. We are the pioneer. So there's nothing wrong with it to go visit a sister country. So nothing wrong with it. We are the founding member. In fact, no, what's going on? The three members, Liberia, Guinea, and Ivory Coast, and Sierra Leone. These are the Mountain River Union. So if something going on in our country right now, nothing wrong with it to call and say, look, Sierra Leone, this is what's going on between Liberia and Guinea. And so it go for consultation.
Terry, you agree with him? What kind of consultation?
Well, that is security analyst, Mr. So.
You know why you said the other day, old man there, that's not kind of old man. You know, when he knew that he was going to throw a bomb, they alley went. I mean, that away from me. He knew you were going to throw a bomb.
Hey, I the papa ain't know nothing. That your co-host I want to see because he keeps saying the papa is not a politician.
Yeah,
he's not there, he's not there. The man will put a hat down. That is hat.
When he said that he put
that hat down. Yeah.
I was there.
He get up for no.
I told you people who went over. Baka was surprised you people on the show. Baka was surprised you people. You ain't seen nothing yet. Baka was surprised you people.
Baba surprised. You know what?
What surprise and surprise? You never know.
Just Papa Boyka, if you read more about the late talk about, that's why he does less talking and action. The hard trouble is to operate. Trouble is when you do a thing, everybody will go helter scatter, then he goes somewhere and then where Sue and go say that. You know, Boyka, where he wear multiple color, but he put out saying here, saying hi, he gone. He knew very well that budgeting was going to be a big drama. He waited. As soon as he dashed it, he take article, came out, road straight to go water side and go free time and say, go to the alma mater. Gentlemen, you're good now.
The message on presidential.
The teacher came on, you know, we pray
for him. Even throughout the county, he got to free time.
Hey, the man go for consultation. We are member. You see, listen. We are member of the Mara River, and we are also member of the ECOWAS. So you see, they play a dual role, and we are also member of the how do you call it that? Organization, and I will change it, Nina. AU.
African Union.
All right, sir. We'll see you tomorrow. God willing.
It's called the strategy of the strategy.
See what happens tomorrow again on Capitol Hill, but it's sad for people to just bend the rules, and you have a law enforcer guy, they all giving justification of this action. More resign. Remember, the same road that have monkey can have my wood. And you go for
that's a rule. That's what it is. It'll put somebody there tomorrow. The next person want to remove their speaker, next speaker. So be it. That's what democracy is all about. If the man, that's an allegation leveled against the speaker. The speaker said he received $7 million. They are not being investigated. So that's look. Listen, democracy is working in Liberia on a Boycott administration. Thank God, Mr. Boycott. It's working. It is working. You might not like it, but that's the Mr. Boycott is playing the rule of law. That's what it is. Thank you. Have a good night. I don't want to give you a headache. You can have a good sleep tonight.
I have a long day tomorrow. I don't want more.
Thank you.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
You're good night.
Bye.
Okay, guys. Good evening. Thank you so much. Tomorrow we're gonna wait and see what happens in Liberia in the first branch of government. Let's see this magic number. But I know guys say they're gonna fight on. I believe they're gonna go to the Supreme Court because I don't know how they're gonna do it, what it means, whether they have the numbers, and even if they have the numbers, ultimately there's gonna be a vote. We're gonna see why it is. And that's the difference with the politics in Liberia and that of here. But here, when the certain thing comes to apply to the politicians with boldness, they will say, I am not for this. But these people, most of our people there, they have no moral, nothing. They do not believe, there's no political ideology, nothing. You know them today, you don't know them the next second, you don't know them the next day. They just operate like that, like a chameleon, flipping colors here and there. So they don't stand for anything. So all they are doing is just struggling for themselves, and that's so sad. And for you to have someone for people to facilitate this sort of thing, we'll wait and see. Until then, folks, have a pleasant evening. Thank you. We went way over the time tonight, but because we have the bishop here with the anniversary, 27 years anniversary in Philadelphia. Have Have a pleasant evening. Join a Liberal Progressive tomorrow with Jerry back on to get more headache. Bye-bye. Okay, let me see. Esther, I said what? Friday is your birthday? Oh, okay. I will be here. Thank God the Liberal will not be on Friday. I'm gonna be here. Friday, I'm gonna be here. I'll try to send you a message. And then we want to cheer you, want to celebrate you, your commitment to this network is unquestionable, and so that's what we have all in return. We say it. In the meanwhile, we wish you a beautiful, beautiful coming weekend, birthday. Is there any birthday party? Are we coming to pop some champagne or whatever it is? Let us know. It's not too late yet. Tomorrow we can start taking Roma to come for birthday celebration. But again, we say happy birthday to you, the entire family, the entire household, and we wish God richest blessing and many more years, strong, good health, more money, all bad credit, restore. Tomorrow, Friday, go to the latest car dealer and just tell them it's your birthday. Trust me, by faith, you're going to get a brand new car. No credit check, nothing, no car note, insurance, everything will be paid off. What a magic. Okay, well, folks, thank you so much and have a pleasant evening. Bye-bye.
Do you want to share your events with the word? Why not contact us? We are Liberia Public Radio, LPR. We are the specialists in advertisements, commercials, radio and TV services. We have the professionals that can help you sell your products and provide live coverage of all events such as weddings, conventions, graduations, reunions, anniversaries, sports, birthdays, baby showers, religious activities, funerals, and many more. Take your phone right now and call any of the following numbers. 682-433-8802, 267-648-6089, 484-786.